Get ready to enter the Thrivetime Show. 3, 2, 1, boom!
All right, Thrive Nation, my name is Clay Clark. Welcome back to the Thrivetime Show on your radio. And what we're talking about right now is creating a business, creating a business that stands out. It's creating a business that stands out, or finding your niche. Some people might review this or view this as just finding your niche. And I say that because I'm going to get into some specifics that are going to help you to grow your business, but you got to understand why this matters. If you have a business and you haven't found your niche, then what it's like, there's a book called Scale that explains this. But Ryan, when you and your wife go on a date there, Ryan Wimpy with Tip Top Canine, when you guys go on a date, are you the guy that looks for the parking space that's super close to the restaurant and you'll drive around many times to find the closest, or do you just park wherever? What's your philosophy?
I'm just
on
parking
parking
wherever, man.
Okay, and this is interesting because most entrepreneurs that I know do exactly what you just said. This is what I do too. So I'm not going to try to look for an hour and a half for an open spot.
No.
I'm just going to park and walk. I usually drop my wife off the door and then just park and walk or hustle in, whatever. But this is what happens. Is in the book Scale, he explains that a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll try to park where somebody else has already parked. So you're trying to find your niche in the marketplace. You're trying to find your space in the parking lot, and you recognize that there is already somebody there. So let me give you an example of this. Hopefully that makes sense. If you were trying to compete today with sports clips in the men's hair business, you would lose. Because let me explain to you their parking space. Their parking space is sports-themed, low-price men's grooming. Low-priced, sports-themed men's grooming. And so our niche, Elephant in the Room, is kind of like a country club for men's hair. We want to offer a higher quality experience. And their niche is to offer a lower-priced, sports-themed. So if you were going to compete with them, you couldn't win because I think they have like 3,000 stores. If you're going to compete right now with Walmart, you really couldn't compete with Walmart on low-priced, low customer service commodities. Yeah. And Sam Walton, in his own book called Made in America, he wrote before his death, he said if you want to compete with Walmart, what you want to do is open up a sporting goods store right next to me. He's like literally in the building next to me in the same parking lot. Open it up there and offer a variety of sporting goods that I wouldn't carry at Walmart, because at Walmart, if I can't buy it in bulk and get it at a great deal, I'm not buying it. So offer like catcher's mitts, first baseman gloves, hard to find bats, hard to find different materials, all different varieties of basketballs, indoor, outdoor.
Uniforms, maybe?
Very, very detailed.
Right.
Customized jerseys, uniforms, trophies, do that. And you'd win because the traffic's already there, and you're not stealing from me because I'm not going to ever offer that stuff. But if you want to lose, and he said, I see people all the time do it. He's like, I almost kind of enjoy it, but they'll open up a business designed to beat Walmart next to Walmart.
A discount store next to Walmart.
So you've got to find your parking space. You've got to find your unique niche. And so this concept is often referred to as your purple cow when you're reading marketing books. And the concept was developed by Seth Godin. And Seth Godin is the best-selling author of The Purple Cow. And he's the man who sold his business Yo-Yo-Dine to Yahoo. It was a book packaging company. They would take a book that wasn't selling well, and they would help repackage the book to help it sell more. They would help make a cover that made more sense. They would help come up with a title that made more sense. They'd find a niche in the marketplace, and they'd repackage a book, and it would sell more. And they sold that to Yahoo for $30 million.
It sounds like a fun type of toothpaste.
So, Chup, I'm going to read you a lot of notable quotables, and I'm going to have you break down the ample examples and tell us how to make this happen.
All right, let's do it.
So here we go. The notable quotable from Seth Godin states, in a crowded marketplace, fitting in is failing. In a busy marketplace, not standing out is the same as being invisible. He goes on to say, boring is always the most risky strategy. Smart business people realize this and they work to minimize it, but not eliminate it, the risk from the process. He goes on to say, you're either remarkable or invisible. Make a choice. If you create a purple cow, it's going to be criticized. The only way to avoid criticism is to say nothing. Think about this for a second. He talks about this, that if you're going to, Chup, stand out in the marketplace, it must be remarkable. But if you do that, you're going to be criticized. Break that down.
That means that your competition's going to start talking bad about you, right? Because you're taking business from them. People in your family or your friends, people that you're taking feedback from that maybe you shouldn't be because they're not business experts, they're going to say, well, you're devaluing things by doing that.
He says if you're remarkable, it's likely that some people won't like you.
Right.
That's part of the definition of remarkable. Nobody gets unanimous praise ever. Think about a president. Even if a president has record approval ratings, they might be hovering at like high 50s.
Right.
If you're a president who is like super loved by America, you might have a 57% approval rating.
Right.
I mean, it's just not going to happen. The best the timid can hope for is to be unnoticed. I want to make sure you get that there, Thrivers.
Ooh.
As an entrepreneur, I usually want my approval rating to be in about the 5% range.
Yeah. I think I'm at least at the most a 33% consistently in my own house.
I want to make sure that
You know what I mean?
I want to make sure you're getting
just
this.
You?
No, like Sally, Ethan, Emma. So if all three of them are just super happy with me all the time, then that would be like 100%.
I want to make sure that the listeners are getting this because if you love Trump or you loved Obama, at the most they're going to have an approval rating in the high 50s.
Right.
Either way.
Yeah.
But I'm saying as a business owner, you don't want your approval rating to ever be more than 5%.
With your team.
With the customers.
Gotcha. Okay.
If you run around Tulsa and ask people, what do you think about Clay Clark? If they know my name, I would argue that probably 80% of people dislike me. And that is okay. And I'll tell you why. Because I know my niche. So if you're wanting to get rich quick and you're lazy and you're a slacker and you don't want to know the proven systems to grow a business, you would dislike me.
Right.
If you want to get together and talk about feelings, I'd recommend you go to a certain church, but I'm not going to do that. So elephant in the room, it's men's grooming. It's not lesbian grooming. It's not little boy grooming. It's men's only grooming. We know our niche. So there's articles written all over the internet about the tyranny of country clubs. They know their niche. It's dog training, Tip Top Canine. They know their niche. They're training dogs, not training cats. It's how it works.
Don't train raccoons around here.
So marketing, Seth Godin says, marketing is a contest for people's attention. You have to get their attention. So, Chup, I'm going to give you some ample examples, and then you give me the action steps.
Okay.
The Dental Depot. It's a train. It's a dentistry with a what in front of it?
A giant train.
And it works.
It works.
And
People notice.
And I know dentists that criticize it. Harley motorcycles. They're super loud. Chup, why?
Because you can hear them before you can see them. That's their whole thing, right? Everybody knows about the pipes.
Do you
Loud
realize they
pipes.
almost went bankrupt as a result of responding to some people that were complaining? The company, actually, Harley, went bankrupt multiple times.
Yeah.
They almost did it for the final time because they tried to make their motorcycles more quiet.
Yeah. Which
to deal
is
with
not
complaints.
what people want.
Dude, let me tell you what. If you're at Quick Trip and someone's driving a Harley, you'll know about it.
That's right. That's right.
You're just like, calm down. Now, Whole
they're
Foods, earthy millennials, hipsters with dreadlocks named Skylar serving organic food to women in yoga pants.
That's it.
So, Chup, to make a purple cow, you've got to create your color scheme.
Okay, you got to pick out what it's going to look like, right?
Right.
Got to create a slogan next. Step number 2 to create your slogan.
Right.
And then action item number 3 here is just create that niche / elevator pitch. Okay, you got to be able to tell people who you are, what you do, what your purple cow is, what your differentiating factor is really quickly.
Ryan with Tip Top Canine, does it bother you that Southwest Airlines doesn't have assigned seating?
No.
What's interesting is there's people in line every single time I fly Southwest that will complain that they don't have assigned seating.
Really?
But guess what? They don't charge for baggage fees. It's the lowest price possible. Their adult beverages are cheaper. They are the only profitable airline. They're the only airline that's been profitable for 44 years in a row. So they know their niche. When we come back, more practical knowledge you cannot get in college. It's a Thrivetime show on your radio.